Manx Radio.
This is the Mannin line on location.
Faster by, good afternoon. Welcome to Mannin Line. Today we're live from Knockaloe from the Royal Manx Agricultural Show. It's day one today, a big day, and the weather couldn't be better. It's a gorgeous day, lots of blue sky, lots of sunshine, and lots of people who've got opinions today, whether it's agriculture, the countryside, whether it's the beach, the food that you eat, and what's going to happen in the future. Things never stand still, and we'll find out between now and 1 o'clock exactly where the Isle of Man stands. Today, live from Knockaloe. Well, let's get to meet our cast of characters first of all. It's the Spudman, James Allanson. Hi, James.
Good afternoon, Andy.
Good to see you. And the boss of the, well, I say boss, the boss of everything from the Manx National Farmers Union, Morrey Cringle's here.
Afternoon, Andy.
Good to see you. Sam Morrey is here from down north, up north. You should have been combining today, is that right, Sam?
Good afternoon, Andy. Yes, should be. We've got a mechanical breakdown, so I'll head back later and try and get it fixed.
Yeah, get the people from the Arrow, they'll fix it. And Stephen Keeley is here, the new managing director from the Creamery. Hello, welcome.
Hello. Good afternoon, Andy.
Good to see you. Tim Cowsill is here, Chief Officer from DEFA, the Department of Environment, Food and Agriculture.
That's right.
That's
yeah,
all right.
absolutely.
Okay, and Bill Dale is here from Beach Buddies. Hi, Bill.
Hi, how are you?
Who've you brought with you? Who's that there by your feet?
This is my daughter's dog, Tess. And she's very well behaved so far.
Having fun as well. And here's the man with the weight of the world on his shoulders. It's Lee Cain, president of the show. Hi, Lee. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good afternoon, Andy. Yeah, so far so good.
Is everything as it should be?
Yes, I think it is.
Did you get much sleep last night?
Not a lot of sleep, but seeing the amount of people that have turned up today takes a bit of weight off your shoulders, so great turnout so far.
A show like this is like an iceberg. Only 10% of it is above ground. Everything starts probably on Monday for next year's show. So how much preparation, I mean, in a nutshell, how much preparation has gone into this?
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Monthly meetings all through the winter, and then as soon as the Southern show is finished, it's all hands to the deck, and the amount of work that goes in, the volunteers, all volunteers, fantastic. It's unbelievable when you see it all come together.
Okay, I mean, is everything as it should be? Is everybody behaving themselves? All the stands where they should be? Who allocates who goes where, by the way?
Yeah, we've got a show director, Andy Corran. He's done a great job. I wouldn't like his job. He's got all the planning, which takes a lot of doing, but once he's done it for a few years, he's a dab hand at it. So he's done a great job.
And today then, now everything's done and it started and it's gorgeous weather, what does the President do today?
Just walk around, enjoy the show, see what everyone's brought, some fantastic trade stands. Really looking forward to tomorrow, the livestock. That's my main interest. Go and see the livestock tomorrow. So today I'm trying to watch the entertainment to see what's about. So far this morning has been fantastic, really good.
Well, let's talk about the judging, because that big day Saturday tomorrow, how does that work for the uninitiated? How does the judging take place?
Yeah, well, we bring a lot of judges from the UK, so they're impartial. So most of the livestock judges are all come from the UK. So then when each section champions get to go to the Grand Parade, I have the honour of picking the judge for the Grand Parade, which is traditionally kept top secret, so I haven't even told my wife in case she let the cat out of the bag, so everyone's in the dark until they walk into the ring tomorrow.
Okay, you said you like the livestock, how come?
The livestock, yes. I usually show cattle myself. I'd normally be in the limousine classes myself.
Oh, limousine, yeah?
Limousine class, yeah. So I'll be missing that side tomorrow, which will feel a bit unusual, but I'm enjoying my year as president, and I thank everyone that's helped me. Okay,
and how's business yourself?
Yeah, livestock sales. I mean, my aim, I sell bulls to customers really, and yeah, we've managed to sell them all this year. So that's what we aim to do.
Without giving any secrets away or anything like that, I mean, are things on the up or the down or steady?
I would say they're on the level. Beef cattle hit a bit of a high last year, which give everyone a good lift. We haven't quite seen, the prices have dipped a little bit this year, but beef is still, it's quite strong at the moment compared to what it was a few years ago.
How long have you been in the trade, by the way?
I started renting Trolley Farm when I was 18 years old, so we managed to buy the farm 5 years ago, and we built a house and it's now our home. But my dad was actually born at the farm, but they only rented it, so for it to come full circle and manage to own a farm, it's a lifetime dream, really.
If you'd known then what you know now, would you still have done it?
Farming, you can love it or hate it, it's a way of life, and that's what keeps you going. There's not the money in it that it should be, we all know that, but it's the way of life, and the people involved in the industry is what is the good bit about it. The amount of good people I've met through young farmers and through farming, friends for life.
Well, that's the important thing. I mean, young farmers, do you think there's the young blood coming? Do you think young people are coming into farming?
And it's certainly not the young people coming into farming. No, that's a stumbling block. Getting them young people to start is a massive stumbling block. But young farmers are still very strong, but it's not farmer driven, shall we say. It's just a good young movement of people, but there's just young people coming into farming is a real stumbling block, and I don't know how we're quite going to address it. Morrey and Sam might have some ideas on it, but it's been a stumbling block for a few years, and I think it's getting harder. The price of everything now is getting harder.
I was going to say that. You can tell me about the cost of feed.
Sorry, Andy?
The cost of feed, how much has that gone up?
Yeah, it's down to the boat. We're at such a disadvantage to people in England. They've got access to markets, and they've got, the feed, everything that comes in. It's £100 a pallet on top. So it's just our costs, whether it be fertiliser, feed. It makes the job so much harder.
Okay, is there any disease that's knocking around at the moment that's knocking a hole in anything?
Not really. Blue tongue was a bit of a worry, but it seems to be all quiet at the moment. Touch wood. I personally vaccinated all my cattle last year. I couldn't take the risk of it for the cost of the vaccine. I vaccinated just for peace of mind, really. I think a lot of people done the same, but so far this year it seems to be quiet. But it's it's the last thing you want. If the job's hard enough without having that as a problem.
Okay, Lee, I'm going to let Mr. President make his dignified exit now, and you can go and bask around all the stands.
Right. Thanks for your time, Andy.
No,
Thank you very much.
Good to see you, Lee. Thanks for that's Lee Cain, President. Well, let's go to Murray Cringle as well, talking about the state of the way things are and the lack of young people coming into the business, Murray.
Yeah, I think that's probably a fair shout. I was lucky when I came into the business. I came into a family farm, which seems to be the route for most people at the moment.
Knowing your father, did you have an option?
I did what I was told, as you would expect. And I was lucky to have that option. And, luckily now I've got Phil, my son, going to carry on. So we'll keep it going. But for anybody outside the industry to get in, quite frankly, it's a real hard task.
Okay. Sam Morrey, of course, family farm as well. Lionel was your grandfather, was he?
That's right, yes.
And what was the pig breed he bought?
The landrace pig.
The landrace pig. So just tell us about the Morrey story.
Grandfather and Uncle Norman, they were farming the landrace pig, and we were based in Andreas. And then, Dad came back to the farm, as it were. He took on Brost Farm in 1986, and I'm second generation at Brost now, so we're not pig farming anymore. We moved into purely arable, purely grain, and now the farm's half grain, half grass for either silage or hay production.
Okay, your grandfather was an MHK?
He was, correct, yes.
Have you any thoughts about becoming?
No, not just yet.
You sure about that?
Give it another 5 years and we'll maybe think about it.
All right, let's go to the new boss at the Creamery, Stephen Keeley is here. How's the job so far, Stephen?
Well, we at the moment I'm still interim managing director,
right.
So we'll see how it goes. But I think we've got. It's just a matter of building on all the good things that we've built over the last 20 or 30 years. But definitely, I'd like to. I'm thinking about making more of the Isle of Man. We've got an amazing place. The farms, there's a lot of natural advantages on the island, and I think I think it's all about we've got an amazing marketing manager in Shirley Callow. She's just like a one woman marketing machine. But I think she needs some help, and I think the help is probably going to be in the form of the Manx public. So one of the first things that we've done since I've just taken over 3 weeks ago is we've taken on at quite short notice being the headline sponsor of the Big Manx Feast.
Right.
Now with that, it's in the middle of September. It's the show that is what used to be the Isle of Man Food and Drink show. There's no show last year. So this is going to be in the middle of September, or just behind the grandstand. And with that, there'll be all of the normal sort of marquees. So we're intending to go in with a DEFA food tent, just like we normally do with our cheeses.
So it's going to be at the back of the grandstand?
I believe so,
right,
yeah.
Okay.
And there'll be things like fire pits, celebrities from the television. But in and amongst it, we're going to have a 12 metre by 4.5 metre marquee dedicated to Isle of Man Creamery.
Right.
Now,
when again in September, is it?
Sorry?
When in September?
It's the middle of September, 16, 17, 18. It's a two days in the middle of
3
September.
weeks you've been in the job.
Yeah, it's all.
It's been a bit of a whirl.
It's a whirlwind, yeah.
Yes.
But we need.
Well, thanks for showing up today.
We need to. You're welcome. We need to set this up for the future, really.
Right.
But we're intending to use that marquee as to try and educate the Manx public a bit more, so that they can be the ambassadors, just like they do for the TT.
Right. Okay.
And they can sell the Isle of Man story and the natural advantages, the grass-fed story. Just let's get the story out there.
Appreciate it. And we've got Tim Cowsill, Chief Officer of DEFA at the moment. The politics is always in this, and obviously the politics doesn't get a fair crack of the whip sometimes. Obviously people criticise politicians for their role in this. Where does DEFA sit? Because you've got all sorts of other things, environment, food, agriculture. How much of your time is spent with agriculture, Tim?
Well, the department's really quite wide-reaching. It probably looks after most of the regulations, from health and safety to RTLC and planning. Yeah. It has a wide range of stuff. I guess the split of time is probably around 30% for agriculture. I think we're in a going into a bizarre sort of time now, as the politicians that we have now, or the current administration, switch off and prepare for the next administration. Is where we are mostly focusing our time now, and we'll be building the packs, the information. So we'll be calling the sector in to have a conversation about how do they want to see the future of farming,
right,
as we get prepared for this next administration.
How often do you talk to actual farmers and people on the land, as it were? So
I'd love to go out on farms more, but the wide-reaching my role doesn't allow it. But we regularly meet the MNFU, probably bi-monthly at the moment. So we're constantly I'm probably speaking to a farmer at least once a day at the minimum. So yeah, it's but it is very reactive, and the challenges. We talked about blue tongue. That was a massive thing this year for the department to adjust and accord to support the herd of the island, cattle and support. So
practically, what happened then when that?
Well, we obviously have the chief vet as part of the remit of DEFA, and when we found out that there were cases on the island, it's about how we've reacted and how we've supported the sector and allowed trade. It's a balance between keeping the economic viability of agriculture and also the protection of the herd. We have a huge herd, over 100,000 animals in farming. It's more than people, and to look after them is a really important role. So it's not just your sort of natural agriculture, it's also the animal health that comes as a big part of it for the day-to-day.
James Allanson is here from Allanson's Proud Potatoes. How long have you been in the business, James?
It's hard to put a number on. I've just grown up doing it.
Have you done anything else apart from spuds?
I went away to university
right.
For 4 years.
What did you do at uni?
Agriculture with crop management.
Right. So whereabouts did you go?
Harper Adams.
Oh right, yeah, famous one as well. So how's the market for spuds at the moment? You're not giving them away free like last time, are you?
No, we're not. I wouldn't say it's any easier.
Right.
It's very challenging. There's a lot comes over on the boat. The MNFU tent highlights that quite well, I think. But yeah, just very challenging at the moment.
What about the weather? Because we haven't had any rain for 2 months, is it? We haven't had any rain since TT.
I can't remember when the last rain was. We had a very wet winter to start with, the wettest on our records where we are, and then that was pretty much followed straight away by no rain.
What's the harvest going to be like, do you know?
The yields are going to be quite a bit lower than what they have been previous years. We're lucky to have irrigation, but not everybody does. But that still requires a lot of man hours, a lot of fuel to power it, and it's just a real head scratcher.
Right. So, again, for the uninitiated, can you take us on a farming year for potato? What goes in where? When do you plant?
So ideally we try and plant in February for the early potatoes. That's just try and get them a bit earlier, and then they're sort of harvested around sort of June, July time, just after TT week usually. And then we've got the main crop that's planted in April ideally, and that's harvested around October. Then that goes into store and we can take from that all year round and supply the shops.
Right, we'll talk more spuds in a moment, and we're going to the beach in just a few moments' time, live from Knockaloe at the Royal Manx Agricultural Show on Mannin Line.
Elevate rubber cover from Rubber Roof Shop for one-piece flat roofing systems. No joins, no leaks. We also line commercial box gutters in one piece up to 60 metres with a 20-year written warranty against leakage. Call Rubber Roof Shop on 49667.
Ramsey Care Products, proudly part of the community at St Paul's Square in the north of the island, supplying affordable, quality disability and mobility products. Call 627 177. Ramsey Care Products, affordable mobility solutions for you.
For a trustworthy removal and storage solution, contact Dave's Removals and Storage, offering man and van removals, clearances and long or short-term storage with pick-up and drop-off service. Call 258 766 or find Dave's Removals and Storage on Facebook.
Healthcare can often feel disjointed, uncoordinated and lonely, especially when off-island care is required. That is not the case at Clinic Savoie. With clinics in Douglas and Ramsey, Clinic Savoie is the first private integrated healthcare service to bring together Manx GPs, specialists and carefully selected partners who all work together to ensure your care is completely focused on you. Call 682,000 or visit clinicsavoie.com. Take the next step with Clinic Savoie.
Carry on up Prospect Hill.
Wake up, Manxies, I think I got something to say now, please.
Let us entertain you with local performers delivering some very famous songs, but with the lyrics tweaked to cover the ups and downs of the election of members of the House of Keys. Laugh, join in, and of course dig deep into your pockets to support 4 good Manx charities: Hospice Isle of Man, Forget Me Not, Nassim's Manx Brain Tumour Charity, and Manx National Heritage. Join us at the Gaiety Theatre on the 3rd and 4th of September. This advert is sponsored by Manx Radio.
The Royal Manx Agricultural Show is now underway, and here at Manx Radio we've teamed up with Ellen Vannin Fuels and the Ellen Vannin Friendly Beekeeper Society to give you the chance to win. We're giving away 2 £50 Curragh's Wildlife Park vouchers, kindly supplied by Ellen Vannin Fuels, and a special Ellen Vannin Friendly Beekeepers hamper. All you need to do is head over to the Friendly Beekeepers stand inside the DEFA tent, answer the questions on the entry form, then pop it in the special box at the Manx Radio stand. The Royal Manx Agricultural Show, today and tomorrow at Knockaloe in Patrick. We'll look forward to seeing you there.
This is the Mannin Line on location.
Hey, Faster Mike, good afternoon. We're live at Knockaloe Farm in Patrick, and it's a beautiful day, a beautiful blue sky day, lots of sunshine. We're right, we're inside the Isle of Man, but around the Isle of Man, we have lots and lots of beaches and coves and bays. And one of the organisations that looks after them entirely voluntarily is Beach Buddies, and Bill Dale is the man who started it. And I say this every time we chat, Bill, but it is worth restating. It started with a man walking on the beach with a dog. Is that right?
Well, 3 dogs, 4 dogs actually, yeah, in Balaf, and we walk as humans do down by the water, throwing stones in, and 2 of the dogs were bringing plastic bottles down to the beach with from up high on the high water mark. So we went up and had a look in amongst the rushes, and it was knee deep in plastic, and we shifted 30,000 pieces of plastic in 6 visits. and left the beach immaculate. And I was there a couple of weeks ago and I picked up 2 pieces. So the nice thing is that once it's clean, we've found that people don't want to mess up a clean environment. So it's human nature to be tidy. You know, I mean, everybody around the table here knows that if you don't keep your farm tidy, you know, you've got a problem. And the ones that have scruffy farms don't do very well. So what we found is that there is a human nature involved in what we do, and a great thing is it becomes addictive. So when we get people to come out, what you'll find is that they'll maybe go and adopt a beach or even a glen or a plantation or a footpath. You know,
what's the filthiest beach you found all those years ago?
The worst one, Balaf was pretty bad. Down at Hango Hill it was poor. Because that's a place where it can't get away.
Right.
You know, it comes into the bay and it stays there. We had a group there yesterday actually, and it was the ISEP group who'd been over from the Caribbean, and we didn't collect a lot, you know, but when we used to go down there in the early days 20 years ago, which is because this is our 20th anniversary year, you would fill loads of bags very quickly. Now it's basically just picking up the stuff that comes in on the tide. So in the Isle of Man we are on top of it, and I think perhaps we take it a bit for granted.
I think you're possibly right there, but you, I mean, 20 odd years you've been here, there and everywhere, and you spread the word of beach buddies, and of course the notion of beach buddies has spread around the world, hasn't it?
It is. I mean, the nice thing yesterday, without any prompting, is that the people from St Vincent and the Grenadines have asked if we would be like a consultant to them to do something similar in the Caribbean for them, and they know other islands as well, you know, which they're closely involved with. So that may link to something, and we've been trying very hard to spread the word just by using simple logic and common sense that, you know, it's not the right thing to do to dump rubbish anywhere, and people need to be more responsible. And I know these guys around the table here will know that animals get affected by pieces of plastic. That's I think I remember a horse dying not that long ago from eating a plastic bag. You know, these sort of things are happening all over the place. So it's only human nature to live in a clean environment, and we're cashing in on that to some extent by trying to make people do what's common sense inside your head.
Bill, how much of a responsibility does the fishing industry take in this? Not on the Isle of Man, elsewhere, people around the Irish Sea. How much responsibility do they take?
You're not allowed to swear, are you, on this programme? The fishing industry, I find, are really poor. The amount of gear that we find on beaches which has clearly been thrown over the side of a boat, I'm afraid it's a lot. And we need to really address this. Now, I'm not saying everybody's like that. I think in the Isle of Man we're probably better than lots of places, but I have to say the amount of fishing gear on beaches is not good.
Particularly what? Nets?
Nets, ropes, bits of twine which people have cut off where they've repaired a lobster pot, for instance, and all they've done is snipped it off and chucked it over the side. That sort of stuff. I mean, I can understand that if you lose a net, sometimes you find a really big one, and clearly that's been ripped off in a storm, because you don't throw something like that over the side because it's valuable. But there's lots and lots of stuff which you can clearly see has just been thrown in. What I don't like, we don't get so many of them now, is when you get a big barrel full of used engine oil. And clearly they've changed the engine oil while they're out at sea and then sealed it up and chucked it over the side. I mean, it's staggeringly stupid. I don't understand why anybody would even think that that's okay, because it's going to break down eventually and the oil's going to end up in the water.
And going back to nets are now all nylon. Years ago, when they were hemp, they'd at least degrade and rot away.
That's true, yeah, whereas now they're all plastic.
They're all plastic, and there's no way going. It's a worldwide problem.
It is.
And obviously something's been done on the Isle of Man to clean things up. How has recruitment for beach buddies?
Locally, incredible. Being a journalist, I've kept statistics, you know what we're like as journalists, and I've kept numbers since day one.
Bill loves a list.
I do. We've had more than 22,000 different volunteers since we started, which in a population of 84,000 is pretty staggering, really. And that's without counting the people that we've given litter pickers away to, who clean their own streets and their parks. So I think we've probably got half of the population involved.
Interesting also, it's always when you go to schools, when you get young people involved, they take to it straight away, don't they?
Well, they do. I mean, you give a child a litter picker and a bag and a pair of gloves, and I mean, it's just you're giving them equal responsibility to an adult. And even if you're not the brightest kid, you know, it's not rocket science. This is just it makes some children, special needs kids, feel on a level playing field with ordinary children. So that's worked really well, and more than anything else, they go home and talk to the parents, and then at the weekend you'll see the parents come along, not always really wanting to be there, until they come back afterwards and they say, you know what, I didn't really want to come, but we actually genuinely enjoyed it and we'll be back. So we seem to have created something by chance, which has worked really well, and that's what we're trying to spread around the world.
Stephen Keeley from the Creamery.
Yeah, I'd just like to add in actually volunteering for beach buddies is really quite enjoyable.
Do you do it?
Well, I did do it. My daughter's very environmentally conscious. She's left home now to work for Yorkshire Water, but she took on volunteering for beach buddies as for a Duke of Edinburgh Gold, and over a course of a couple of years, she drove down there. We used it as driving practice for her. And it is great for bonding, just like a mooch down the beach or a glen or something on a Sunday morning. It worked fantastically well. So yeah,
good. Great job. Let's get to Sam Morrey, and I want to talk about. So what do you farm, Sam? What is it?
The farm's half crops, and the other half's in grass for hay or silage production.
Okay.
And then the rest of my time, most of my time, an agricultural contractor. So go around other farms, either hedge trimming, ditching, combining, spraying, whatever.
That's what I wanted to come to, and that is being a custodian of the countryside and keeping the countryside looking good.
Yes, that's farming for you. It's sort of farms. It's normally try and keep. The problem is costs have changed so much now. Farms, all the hedges used to be trimmed nice. Everything looked tidy because there was money to spare. There was time. There was people working on farms. Now you've got one or two people working on farms trying to do everything. They can't get around it. The costs have gone through the roof for machinery and fuel, let alone wages. It's the whole thing's falling apart, frankly.
Right, well, let's get down to this, because farmers aren't by nature pessimists. Farmers always put a bright face on everything, and most of the public will only see the young farmers, who are hilarious by nature. But behind all this, there is a problem, Sam.
Yes, so I was involved in the Young Farmers for quite a long time, and I like going on the stage at the Gaiety. We all have a laugh and a crack. It's good fun, but in the wider industry, there's a lot of stress and there's a lot of concern. There's no confidence at the moment at all, and no matter what sector it is, whether it be milk, whether it be meat production, whether it be crops, whether it be anything else, it's all really struggling at the moment. I've never seen the industry so uniform in concern. There's always normally one sector doing better than the other, but all are sort of struggling at the moment.
Sam, no confidence.
Very little confidence. Like as you said, farmers are normally not pessimistic. I am. I'm a glass half empty kind of person, because there's no point in building yourself up with false hope. It's serious. I'll be positive about anything, but it is getting really tired.
Okay,
it's tiresome now.
So what's the way out then? What needs to happen as far as you're concerned?
That's a very good question, Andy, because it's gone so far down the road now. This could have been sorted 20 years ago, the way it's been. The money into agriculture has been getting less and less through the budgets. It's just there's not enough money reaching active, productive farmers anymore. The costs, whether it be mainly the likes of the boat, as Lee said earlier, you've got inputs coming in. You're trying to export, and you're onto a commodity market which is low. Then you've got 50, 60, 70 pound a tonne on top of it. You've got vital things in the winter, like fertiliser and animal feed, being left at the docks. This spring's been a real challenge, fertiliser being late. And then if the weather turns, the weather's a big thing, which no one can control. It went from, as James said, it was so wet to so cold in May. It was unbelievably cold. There was frosts. And then it's just gone into a drought after TT. The north especially is really struggling with the dry weather. There's livestock farmers are feeding winter feed already. There is an abundance about the countryside of reasonably good forage, but that'll be gone in a month's time if it doesn't rain quite substantially. But these are all the stresses. It's no matter what it is, there's always something in farming that there's a concern. It's whether it's shortage of staff, costs, weather, no markets or lack of markets, access to markets. There's so many things to think about now. It's not just a man sat on a tractor or a woman stroking a cow or a sheep. It's the whole thing is getting very concerning now.
So what do you, those Sunday night sitting at the table in the kitchen, what's the conversation about?
What we're going to do this week, really. It's even fuel's been a big problem for me. Like contracting, it's gone from in the 60 pence a litres to it hit £1.20 at one point, and it's still people say, well, you've got red diesel, it's okay, but if you're burning thousands of litres a week, it's still a lot of money to find when you're not making. There's no profit being made. It's not. You're working on decimal points of profit margins now. You're not working on 20, 30 or 100% like some industries are. We're working on decimal points, and a simple change in the weather or even a lateness of fertiliser turning up can make the difference between profit and loss. It can destroy a season.
Murray Cringle, what's the NFU's view of the future? I mean, Sam doesn't sound too happy.
No, and I listen. We've got James and Sam here today who are in their journey at the moment in agriculture, if you like. I listen, I hear what they've got to say, and I think it's scary times.
Was it always like that, though?
No, I mean, I can remember the times where, if one sector was poor, another sector wasn't doing too bad. So as long as you had mixed farming, you could stick your finger in the other one and come out of it on the other side. Whereas now, every sector, Tim will be aware, he's just done the rounds around all of our commodities with Chris Neal, and I don't think there's a sector that hasn't had a hard case to tell them this time. So it's up to Tim now and Chris to come forward, hopefully with some good positivity for the industry and help us move the thing forward.
When you say good positivity, does that mean money?
That's certainly some of it. I think there's a fair argument for that. If you look at our budgets, I did half predict this one. So 2010, we were on 9.715 million support. This year, we're going to be on roughly 9.378. And if you were to build in over that time inflation, we're probably shy, maybe over 6 million on where we would be if it had followed inflation. Now, I think that the farmers have sucked that up and stewed that. It hasn't been anybody else, because the supermarkets who are great to support us, but I mean, they've all made their good livings out of it, and we've sucked up and tightened our belts as far as we can go.
What's the NFU's view of Tesco?
It's a market, and any marketplace is good. We've got producers working with them and trying to work with them. I don't think they'll be the easiest. They're a business, the same as we are little businesses, and they have their profit margins to work to. So I would like to think they could be, because they have such a percentage of market in the Isle of Man, and it is a big percentage, they would be even more supportive of Manx. They're great. Stephen will tell you with the creameries, there's fantastic support from Tesco's. Probably some of their best sellers will be Manx milk, cheese, butter, I'm guessing. I don't know, but they're good to support them. But the other sectors, if we can get them to take more and fill their shelves, would be good.
Okay, we're live at Knockaloe today in the sunshine with Bill Dale from Beach Buddies. Tim Cowsill is here from DEFA, Stephen Keeley from the Creamery, James Allanson from Allanson Spuds, Murray Cringle from the Manx National Farmers Union, and Sam Morrey from down north, and we're back in a moment.
Simply income protection from Kestrel Insurance. A choice of benefits. Simple underwriting and peace of mind with a regular income for up to 2 years if you're unable to work due to illness or injury. Kestrel Insurance is registered with the Isle of Man Financial Services Authority.
Ramsey, Douglas, Castletown and Peel, the Ferry Bridge and Laxey Wheel. Point of Air to the sound of man. Explore the island with Camperman. Whether it's an island staycation, a trip to the UK or a tour of Europe, do it in style with Camperman Luxury Motorhome Hire. Fabulous accommodation, the open road and stunning views await you. Start planning your dream adventure. Call Camperman Luxury Motorhome Hire now on 30 40 87 or find us on Facebook.
Don't miss a massive 25% off almost everything now at New Generation Port Erin. Come in and see the savings we have on wool, fabric, haberdashery and more. 25% off almost everything now at New Generation Port Erin.
Go al fresco in style with the Lifestyle Furniture Garden and Outdoor Furniture collection. We've handpicked a gorgeous range of luxurious lounge sets, comfy corner groups, and chic outdoor bars. And they're just perfect for those long, lazy weekends. All with free delivery island-wide. Browse online or explore our outdoor marquee. Your gardens for good living with Lifestyle Furniture. Find us at Snugborough Trading Estate, Union Mills. Open 7 days a week.
Make Athol Airport Parking your wash and go partner when parking at the airport. With no advance booking required, simply park your car in the designated Athol rental return spaces right next to the terminal. Hand your key to our valet desk, and while you're away, we'll wash your vehicle and return your car to the terminal for when you get back. For prices and our full range of services, including comprehensive valeting menu, just search Athol Airport Parking online. Athol Airport Parking, part of the trusted Athol Garage Group.
The countdown to the next Isle of Man general election is officially on. On Thursday, the 24th of September, you'll get to have your say on who you think should represent you in the House of Keys. And here at Manx Radio, we've got all the information you need to help you make your choice. We'll be playing out our full interviews with all the candidates each weekday from just before 11:30, and they'll also be available as podcasts shortly after broadcast, and you can watch them on our YouTube channel. And don't forget, for everything you need to know about the upcoming election, you can head to our dedicated website. Just go to manxradio.com to find out more.
This is the Mannin Line on location.
Well, Faster My, good afternoon. It's a gorgeous day, and if you're thinking of coming to the show today, then get your skates on, because the weather's fantastic as well, and the queue for the ice cream's not bad. James Allanson is here from Allanson's Potatoes. I buy your stuff inside Tesco. I buy the baked potatoes and what have you. How did you get into Tesco?
So it sort of happened when ShopRite closed down and Tesco.
You were in ShopRite before, weren't you?
Yeah, through Robinson's.
Yeah.
And then it sort of transitioned through to Tesco. We already dealt with Tesco since they were on the island through Lake Road, so it's a bit more of a natural progression than just straight in.
Okay, so what differentiates Allanson potatoes from everywhere, because they've got tons of potatoes in there, haven't they? What's your selling point?
Well, we're Manx. We try and focus on high quality, good taste. We pick our varieties carefully.
What's the variety?
So at the moment, the variety in store is Rocket. That's a early potato. Really good flavour. It's one of my favourite ones. A bit earlier in the season with a bit of mint. You can't beat it.
As a joke, I mean, a few months ago, because obviously Jersey's very famous for its potatoes, and I just wondered whether or not the Isle of Man could produce lots and lots and lots more potatoes, and that the government could ban all other potatoes, and we only eat Manx potatoes.
Tim Cowsill's here. He's listening to you. He's going to hopefully do that now.
Well, the thing is, I mean, years ago when there were 500,000 people coming here, the Isle of Man used to grow hundreds of thousands of tons of spuds, and we don't now anymore, do we? We don't grow that many more spuds.
Yeah, if you look at the agricultural census over past 20 years, the acreage of potatoes has plummeted. A couple of years ago, there was another potato farm give up. What we're up to now, about 3 or 4 of us left. It's a bit depressing, really, just to see the way the industry's gone.
Okay, that was my facile and jokey thing about banning other spuds from the Isle of Man. But when we talk about the 6% of food that's produced on the Isle of Man, can we cut that knot? Can we get out of that, or are we going to be stuck with 6%, Tim Cowsill?
I don't think we are at 6%. I think that number has come from an overview from the UK and has been accumulated against Manx data. I think we produce far more, and a lot of our produce goes off island at the moment because the scales of economy is that the Manx market isn't big enough to sustain some sectors. The Creamery have a massive output of, you can find their cheese all over the world. In terms of putting any sort of degradation to control that. We can't do that because of trading laws and where we stand. But there is something to say about the Manx public, and where, we do try. Everyone does try their best to buy Manx first. Yeah. Tesco's is one avenue. We've got a massive Manx produce tent here today that's absolutely rammed with Manx produce of all sizes. I think this is about us supporting and looking at how we can support local more.
Okay, but obviously when supermarkets have got other brands first and other types of non-Manx food in front of people, it's human nature, and particularly as lots and lots of new people have come to the Isle of Man, particularly since COVID, they may not be aware of Manx produce, Tim.
No, and this is why great events like this is absolutely key to educate and support. There is a good number of Manx produce in Tesco's at the moment. It's probably higher than other areas, but across the board we've had the farm shop open in Glen Helen. There are numerous avenues that people can go out and buy more locally and support farming as a result of that. But we can do more. We can all eat more Manx produce. But the production is higher than what we currently are putting into our.
So you reckon it's more than 6%?
Well, we export, a high amount of cattle. We export all sorts. Creamery export tons and tons of produce off island. So there is capacity there, but there is a role to play about linking that more into the island.
Okay, Sam Morrey.
Just picking up on the exports there, it's the cost of the boat is absolutely stifling now to the industry, whether it be in or out. I was talking to Dad not long ago, when he was my age, when he was a lot younger, he used to export peas. We had our own wagon, and him and grandfather or whoever would drive, they'd go on the boat and they'd go and take them to where they were selling them to, whether it be seed, whether it be animal feed. But you couldn't even think of doing that now, taking your own wagon on the boat with the cost. It's absolutely stifling. It's all changed so much. I don't know what we're going to change on that side of it.
Do you grow peas still?
Not anymore for export, no. That market's gone. The problem is we've lost so many markets in the last 5-10 years. We've lost the huge tonnage of milling wheat to Laxey Flour Mill. We've lost the big export of oats, the porridge oats were going into Mornflake at Quakers. We ourselves at the time, we were growing a lot of peas for seed. That's all gone. The cost of shipping has just killed the arable industry completely for export, unless it's really high value, which is really high risk.
You were telling me about the good old days when you were taking your wagons to Laxey Mill.
Yes, I remember riding with Dad as a child in the wagon, and it would be back in the time. August was an absolute haven. It was fun. There'd be races. Who could get to the Weybridge first to get wheat in the mill? There was fun. There was confidence, and top of all, there was money. There was actual profit in the job, and it's gone.
And nobody's planting milling wheat at all.
There's 2 producers for the mill now, which, going back, there was over 20 at one point. We were one of the largest producers in the heyday. We were one of the largest producers ring fenced, and it just got to the point where it's completely unviable, because you get a loss, you get a bad weather, you get either turns wet or turns dry. The difference between feed and milling, the costs to get it, that extra bit, you die in debt with it. It was absolutely horrendous. We had a couple of bad harvests. We had 2008, 2012, which were really wet harvests, and that knocked any form of profit out of the business completely. And it wasn't just ourselves, it was sector wide at that point.
Okay, Murray Cringle.
Just on the back of this, I'd like to tie in food security, because quite frankly I think that's key. We're about to elect a new set of politicians in the next 6 weeks, 2 months, and if they haven't got that top of their list, it certainly shouldn't be far off. If our own government can't look after feeding our own people, I think that's a really, really scary situation for them to be in, and they need to wake up a bit, Andy, on that.
And listening to any of the candidates, have you noticed anybody? Because one time there were farmers inside Tynwald.
I don't deny that, and times change, but whether there's farmers in there or not, 3 times a day you're relying on a farmer to have produced you some food to eat. So I think we need security here in the Isle of Man, so that food is produced and our people can be looked after. If you look in the UK at the moment, crops are going to be down maybe 40, 50, possibly 60% some places, and that will have a knock-on effect to your food in the following year. So we need to be very, very careful where we're going.
Okay, the most prominent Manx food in Tesco is Manx milk, and the Isle of Man Creamery has been a phenomenal success. as Tim was saying, Stephen, Manx cheese, Manx butters, here, there, and everywhere. So, how's business?
Yeah, it's on island. It's been a good year. As you say, in Tesco, I believe we're probably 3, 4, 5 of the biggest sellers. Manx milk in particular. It's important that stays. It's the milk that actually props the creamery up. I think without it, and I think this is the message we need to get out to the public. It's really important that they keep picking up the Manx milk. All of the retailers they do bring in some competitive milk. Yeah. In Jersey, I believe they still have a law where, and you're not going to see anything other than Jersey milk. So
is that true in Jersey?
I believe so. And post Brexit, maybe there's an opportunity there down the line. I mean, it would be going back into history to have to do that. It'd be much better if you can just do it under normal market conditions. I mean, there's a balance to be struck, isn't it? I mean, we need a premium product, and I think it's important that people are prepared to pay. We know times are hard, the cost of living, but just to pay that little bit extra actually does help protect the food security on the island.
And also, I mean, nowadays everybody talks about, food miles and carbon footprints. The milk is never going to travel more than 20 miles to get there, so there couldn't be a more carbon-friendly food.
It's absolutely the best. And what's more, it's potentially some of the best milk in the whole world. If you go back to the farms, the cows are out to grass for on average it's a DEFA audited grass-fed scheme. Well, it's audited by Independent Side Global actually, but it's a DEFA scheme. And on the Isle of Man, the cows are out to grass on average 230 days a year.
Okay.
And that's a claim. Other jurisdictions claim that they've got grass-fed, but it's not of the same standard as what the Isle of Man scheme is.
Okay. Well, I know. I mean, and you'll know that the price of milk goes up and down. How are the dairy farmers? Are they happy at the moment?
It's a tough year. It's a tough year. The business model we've got actually also depends upon exports. We have around about 1,500 tonnes of cheese leaving the island every year, and 2/3 of that is still on the commodity market. Commodity markets around the world in lots of commodities, but including dairy, have crashed this year, so the fortunes of the Manx dairy farmers go with it. So we need to have a look at, we've started having a look at is it time to perhaps tweak that business model a little bit, maybe look a little bit more towards butter and some of those byproducts, and just spread the risk a little bit.
Okay, back to Morrey.
Yeah, just only to answer your question on dairy producers at the moment, my members tell me that they're milking their cows twice a day, 7 days a week, and they can't get the returns that they need. They're not even meeting their cost of production at the moment. And imagine what that does to you when you twice a day have to go and milk your cows knowing that you're milking them at a loss. That really, really cannot be carried.
So what's going to happen? I mean, apart from inevitably, that means somebody's going out of business.
It may try. I mean, it's certainly squeezing them hard. How much more they've got left in their pockets, I really don't know the answer to that question. But all I'm aware of is they're telling me they're producing under the cost. And, it's only so long you can do that.
I mentioned you've seen the good times. Where are these bad times or are these middling times, Morrey?
I think they're hard times. They are pretty bad at the moment, I have to say. I don't think I can never remember as hard as this. That's what I said to you before. Yeah. There was always a sector I would have thought you could jump to maybe get a bit of grace and a bit of freedom out of it. But
Morrey, what's the way out of this then? How is it going to get better?
Well, as I said, food security for the Isle of Man, all sticking together in the Isle of Man. We're in this all together. Let's be proud of our island. Let's be proud of what we do. Let's be proud of what we produce. And when you go to that restaurant or you go to that shop, ask for Manx. there's no shame in asking for Manx. It should be a badge of honour. You should be thrilled to be asking for your own locally produced food.
Okay, Tim Cowsill is the Chief Officer at DEFA. You've heard lots of things, Tim. What are your reflections?
I think I had gone round all the different areas of the NFU over the last couple of months, and I have heard all this firsthand. I think this is about collecting the information to understand how best we apply the support package around agriculture, and that is a decision for the next electorate that come in. So that's what we'll be preparing for. I think there is a slight thought about there's an immediate action that needs to be looked at, and we're absolutely having those conversations at the moment. But it is really challenging in a time where it's the government sort of position isn't financially as strong as it has been, and so therefore that balance of getting the right support to the right areas is really key.
So whoever is the minister and whoever are political members will have to be fighting the corner with Treasury.
Well, I think there's no fight there isn't a fight, because everyone knows how impactful the agricultural sector has on the island. You know, it's all of our landscape. It's an overview, but I think it's about sustainably supporting the sector, which is the important part, so that we can get to the good times.
Okay, I just want to speak to Bill now. Bill, what's your website? Your web address?
beachbuddies.org.im.
Okay, and where are you this Sunday? Do you know?
Right, we're actually here.
You're cleaning the place up.
We did the Southern show a couple of weeks ago, and we're here on Sunday morning 10:30. So anybody wants to come along, you can't miss the big red truck, and we'll have all the equipment. It normally lasts about an hour and a half. And everybody welcome. And can I just say, it's very nice to be invited to be alongside such people who are doing such a great thing for the Isle of Man. You know, I think we really need, as Manx people, and I don't mean just being born Manx, we need to support the local suppliers, and I really think we should think about this and much more, and everybody should do their best to support Manx.
Okay, that was Bill Dell from Beach Buddies. Thanks to Lee Cain from the show, Tim Cowsill from DEFA, Stephen Keeley from the Creamery, James Allanson from Allanson's Potatoes, Murray Cringle from the Manx MNFU, and Sam Morrey from down north. And that's it. Back with an open line on Monday.
WIN